Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Skylar Dykstra. I'm standing up here at 10,000 feet elevation. We're on top of Anderson Creek at Vernal Rock Rally, and we're having the best time ever.
It actually started with a jeeping group, local jeeping group that wanted to start bringing people in and seeing what we have. And just within a year or two, it grew so big that they couldn't handle it as just a local group. So the county stepped in and said, hey, we'll run it under our umbrella.
Yeah, having a good time. I love jeeping. Like, had a buddy tell me about this rally. He comes every year, and we got out. We didn't sign up for this trail. He kind of strong-armed me into it, and here we are. This is why I bought a Jeep, though. I think the trail's a little challenging for a Jeep this size, but I think it's been awesome.
We are running Anderson Creek. It is one of the trails that the rally offers that takes you up into the higher elevations, gets you into the cooler weather. Definitely one of the benefits of having a 4x4 is seeing views like this. There is nothing better than coming down a trail, coming around the corner, and it opening up to a beautiful canyon like this.
If it's somebody that hasn't ever been off-roading or something, the best thing is throw them in and say, let's go and have some fun. I mean, they are amazed. I had a couple kids in with me today that just, you're gonna go up that? You know, and, I mean, they're just eyes about that big, and that's the reaction. We've taken people that have absolutely no off-roading experience, and they love it. By the end of the day, they're shopping Jeeps.
Big part of today is just being out in nature, beautiful views with family, having fun.
It really is eye-opening that you can go out and have fun and be responsible and enjoy nature in a different way than most people do.
What an amazing day we're having on Anderson Creek today at Vernal Rock Rally. As you can see, we've made it up to the smelter. We're going to continue up to the top of the tree line. So as we do that, why don't you go check out our first story. Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We are at the Vernal Rock Rally. How about we go take a look at some of these vehicles that are with us today?
So my Jeep's a 1998 Jeep Grand Cherokee, or XJ as they call them. Since I've had it, I've put the roll cage in it. It's a hybrid roll cage. It has dual transfer cases. I've got JK Rubicon Dana 44 axles.
So my husband's family always gets on Marco Polo and is always talking about whatever random thing's going on. And one day one got on and goes, guess what I can do in my minivan? I can put an entire 4x8 sheet of plywood. Well, I can pack all of this and I can pack all of that. Well, we had just barely bought our Jeep. And he's like, we should name it minivan, and then we can brag about what our minivan can do.
My Jeep is a 2018 Rubicon Recon Edition. I've had it for about 2 years, and after this year, when I come back next year, I'm gonna have a lift and some bigger tires on it.
The Dirty Desert Fox is a 2000 Jeep Cherokee. It has the inline six in it. I'm sitting on 35-inch tires. It came pretty much with nothing, so I had to add everything to it and build it as I've gone. Two-tone paint job on it, which I designed myself. And it's not paint though, it's actually Raptor liner, which makes it so I don't get any brush scratches. Gone to battle with many trees on the trail, and I have to say the Raptor liner has won every time.
My rig is a 1998 Jeep Cherokee. His name is Bart. His name used to be Black Bart, but I rolled him 3 years ago. And I call him him because he is a him. And I talk about him, and he has a personality. So I rolled him 3 years ago, and I spent 2 years putting him back together. I built presses out of a bottle jack and pipes and pressed him all back together. And the ceiling is a map of Moab. I saw it on Facebook. I thought it was a great idea. And I found a company on Amazon that if you send them a picture, they'll print it on fabric for you. And so I found a topographical map of the Moab area and sent them this picture, and lo and behold, they sent me back this fabric, and we redid this headliner with that fabric. When I rolled him, I learned my lesson. I slowed down a lot. I paid attention more to, the ground and my surroundings, and I'm not in as big a hurry. I'm not as anxious to try to get over things. I finished him in like May, and by July is when I rolled him the first time, when I first had him. And I was just, I had to prove how cool and bad he was, and I messed up. So since I've rebuilt him, I'm not as anxious to try to get over that hill that guy in the buggy just got over, or that guy with the 40-inch tires and the 1-ton axles on. I just, I get over what I can and have a good time with it. I get where I get whenever I get there.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We are here at Vernal Rock Rally. We are having the best time on trail today, but let's go talk to some of the participants that are here today.
Oh, I love off-roading. I mean, I grew up, dirt bikes, four-wheelers. So yeah, off-roading is just a passion.
So I think anyone that gets calm from an adrenaline rush is an adrenaline junkie, which I would say I am myself. Yeah, it's definitely finding that limit of terror and being in control. And the more you do, the more comfortable you are in the rock, and then you kind of have to push yourself harder and do scarier things, and then you get comfortable with that, and you have to keep going.
Not going out alone, going in a group. This right here is why. We got a flat tire on trail, in a mud hole. If he would have been by himself, he had no lug wrench, he wouldn't have been able to get out of here. The bead had broken off the rim. But since we're in a group, there was someone else that had a lug wrench. We got his tire off, got the spare back on. Now he can air the spare down and we continue down the trail.
I'm good now, ready to go. Yep, just part of the adventure. So,
being a good steward of the land, it means staying on the trail, following the rules. You come to a gate, leave it how you found it. The gate's open, you leave it open. The gate's closed, you leave it closed. You never know if the landowner has his cattle out on the property or his sheep. And if you leave that gate open when it's supposed to be closed, now all of his cattle got out. Abide by any posted sign by BLM. If it says no trespassing, you don't trespass.
It gives you a sense of ownership to actually be up there to go see that. And so with that, along with that sense of ownership, you don't want to tear it up. And you don't want to see people tear it up. The people that are in the off-road community feel like this is their land. And they don't want to see anybody damaging it any more than anybody that just hikes. So they're protective about it. Just because there's a road up there doesn't ruin the scenery. It doesn't, but they don't like to see people leaving trash and everything. So the attitude of protecting the land and conserving the scenery and conserving the land is the same between the different groups, motorized or non-motorized. Getting people up in there, especially people that normally can't hike up in there, more eyes means more protection.
These people are awesome that are here today. Now go check out this next story. Welcome back to At Your Leisure. I can't tell you just how amazing this event is. Vernal Rock Rally is just incredible. You really need to get out here and experience it yourself. But until then, why don't you go check out what we have planned for next week's show. What an incredible day today at Vernal Rock Rally. We have such an amazing group of people here today. Thank you. We had awesome sponsors in the back, Easy Plate. They did an awesome job today. So today we did Anderson Creek. It was amazing. We had some beautiful views on the way up, little bit of rock crawling, some stream crossings. It was great today. But there's one thing you guys need to remember. There's adventure around every bend. All you gotta do is get out and find it. At your leisure.